Is this thing recording?
Is this thing on?
All right, guys, welcome to the very first episode, I guess, or very first podcast of All the Gear and No Idea. And first guest is my great friend, the great Mitch Lally. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing really great. Thanks for having me. This feels like way too formal.
Way too formal. Hey man, I don't know how to run this podcast. This is like the first podcast I've ever done. So
I think you went up like 10 decibels.
really, yeah, we'll turn it down. Turn the volume down. Sorry if anyone that's listening, that's eardrums just blown up.
The guy across the road mowing can even hear you.
Yeah, can you guys hear the mowing? Press like if you hear the mowing.
It's your first guest and featuring Jim's mowing.
Jim's mowing. Jim's accounting. Jim's everything. What's going on, bro?
What's going on? Not much. I'm running on very little sleep, so if I don't make any fucking sense, then
No.
wait, are we allowed to swear in this podcast?
We'll maybe beep it out, but yeah, who cares? It's all good. Sweet man. It's no sleep.
Yeah.
Why's that?
I don't know. I think I just got too much sleep yesterday, so I wanted to stay up late and just working on stuff. And you know when you just lose track of time, and then I have gym in the morning, so I have to get up. So it's like
So that's like your routine.
sort of, yeah. Well, I don't really have a routine, but yeah.
Are
gym
you
in the
like
morning.
telling yourself, even though you're tired, to like just wake up and go to the gym?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like usually, if it was up to me, I would just go when I feel like it, or like when I feel motivated to. But I gym with a friend of mine, so like it works for him to go in the morning. So that's generally
Well, that's the best thing about being like, I guess, a freelancer or like working for yourself. You can go to the gym whenever you want instead of
yeah.
that 4 p.m. rush when everyone's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I actually like going to the gym when everyone's in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You motivated?
I don't know. There's something about it. Like other people working out and like, I don't know. I used to like it when I was dead and I would just go in and do my workout and I'd be able to like.
Do you feel bored when there's no one in there? Like,
I don't know. It's just like, it's not the energy. You know, like how people always talk about like, oh, I want to move to a big city because it's like the energy.
The
you know?
vibe.
I feel like it's like that. There's heaps of people and everyone's working out and everyone's like getting into their work and stuff. I don't know. It's kind of motivating and like, you just feel like, I don't know. Yeah.
no, that's cool.
This is a vibe.
Yeah. No, I remember when like I used to go to the gym.
Oh yeah.
And like when it was
You
like
remember back that far?
I remember back that far, like 8 years ago. Like, but I just remember like going after work and like the good thing was there was heaps of people there. The worst thing was I knew heaps of people there. So like I was talking to people, not like gymming, if that makes sense. Like, so but then now that I freelance and the once a month I go to the gym at like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It's like good, no one's there, but also I'm like, oh man, like it's a bit dull in here. Like there's no vibe, there's no. But I'm no gym junkie or anything like that. So anyone listening, do not listen to me about gym stuff. I've got no idea. So that's why the podcast is called All the Gear and No Idea. But yeah, one thing I've noticed about you though lately, you know, obviously we hang out all the time and I see you all the time and stuff. But you changed your Instagram to white borders.
Oh yeah.
You used to have it,
Yeah.
and then you went to like I guess normal, like just full fit photos for the gram for the feed, and like maybe last week you switched back to white borders. What was that?
I actually used to do it that like when I first started my Instagram account, I had white borders on my photos because I just think they look clean, like they look neat.
Looks like a frame, right?
Yeah, it looks like, hey, this is the intention of where I ended the photo. Like this is the composition. I made a video on my channel like, I don't know when people are going to listen to this, but about 2 weeks ago. And it was like about why I kind of given up on growing on Instagram. And since I made that video, I just thought, well, like, I don't really care about Instagram anymore. And like, oh, your photos should be big because they take up more screen and people like whatever. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I want. Like,
have fun with it now instead of like worry about like what everyone else thinks.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was getting that vibe when I started seeing you post the white borders. I was like, oh yeah, this guy's like,
he's given up.
He's gone back. He's gone back to like the original.
Yeah.
Instead of what everyone else wants.
Yeah.
Or what works.
Yeah. I don't know. I've always treated my Instagram less like a social media and more like a portfolio of photos, or like kind of a curated kind of gallery kind of thing. So yeah, I don't know. I like the feel of it. It looks cool. I probably will change it again in like a couple of months. It's just how I
But
am.
who cares, right? Like, who really cares if you change it? Like, I actually think the white borders look sick. I used to do it as well. Not for long. I got rid of it. But like,
yeah.
I did it like
Back
on
in
my
the
other accounts.
Concrete Trend days.
Yeah. Concrete Trend. It's not around anymore. That was my old Instagram handle. But yeah, like I actually when I saw you start doing the white borders, I was like, oh wow, like this guy really like is changing it up, I guess, like because it's a big thing to change your Instagram like style, I guess. Not that Instagram should be the number one thing for people importance wise, but like to see that, especially from like a creative and someone who like, I think that you take pride in your photos.
Yeah.
To change what your feed looks like, even though Instagram doesn't matter much now because you know they fucked it.
Well, I mean, yeah, not to us. I mean, there are a lot of people who like have gained a massive platform recently because of
Reels.
Yeah, that stuff. But for us, it's kind of just like, we didn't really like making that stuff, so we're just gonna do our own thing and not worry about it too much. Yeah, I like the white borders, so I'm just gonna keep doing it. I guess like, I don't know. Also, I feel like it relieves a little bit of the anxiety around making the feed look good, because like, I noticed when I was just planning out the feed last night and putting photos in and just seeing how it looks. And I noticed that like putting similar colors next to each other doesn't matter so much when you have white borders, and like putting a portrait with another portrait
because there's so big of a gap between.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like they're more separated, whereas like with the traditional feed where you just post a full screen photo, it feels like the feed has to be more like you have to think about it a little bit more to make it look clean.
Yep.
So yeah, I wanted to have more of like a website kind of vibe to it, just like white space and yeah.
I reckon because I just started like building the Squarespace website for myself, and I kind of started building it when you started posting the white borders like last week, and I noticed as soon as you said that just then, I noticed like, oh yeah, like when I look at a website, in the white borders look way better, like or it looks better, like photos look better when there's like a bit of a gap between photos.
Yeah.
Like even if you go on Instagram on your computer or your laptop, Instagram looks 10 times better on a computer than on a phone.
Yeah.
Because there's gaps already.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I reckon.
I'd be interested to know like, because I use the dark mode, the dark theme on my phone, and then that carries across onto the UI of Instagram. So like you have the white borders, but then you also have these black lines between each.
So
post.
what, you might go black borders on photos.
I don't know, like, but it just looks bad. Like it looks way better with the white layout, like the light version of the like iPhone or whatever. Like I'd be interested to know like do a lot of people use the dark theme? Because I feel like
I'll tell you this now, I'll never go dark.
Really?
I love white, like bright white.
Yeah, but I feel like it strains my eyes when I look at like a white screen all day.
That means
you know when you get that all day, but...
you know when you get that notification from Apple saying like screen time looking out, that means chill. So maybe it's not the white borders, it's your screen time. Yeah,
maybe. I just feel like it's nicer to look at. Like I just prefer, like I have the dark theme on my phone, on my MacBook.
Well, you used to do white borders ages ago. Like, is that because like you had inspiration from someone? Like, who would you like get inspiration from? Like, whether it was like 5 years ago or even today. Like, is there somebody that like?
Yeah, like I think I started getting into like the more moody kind of vibe of my photos, like about 2017, I think. Well, that's like really when I stopped shooting weddings so much and just started to like go in a different direction. But there were a few photographers that I was like, oh, their color is really sick, and I kind of tried to emulate, like get close to how it looked. In terms of the white borders, like there were a few photographers who were doing it. I think
I remember you showed me like when I first started like taking photos, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. you like showed me Sam Elkins. Like
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
showed
yeah.
me like a couple of photos of his.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I was immediately like, wow, like
Yeah.
I want to eventually like start taking photos like this dude. And
Yeah.
I actually thought you had a similar style, or he even had a similar style to you. Like in
Yeah,
regards to
definitely.
like photos and
Yeah.
framing and even just the page layout.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. I've always loved his work. So one of the people that I've sort of, I guess, like looked at their style and gone, oh, I really like that. I want to take elements of that. And then I guess my styles just kind of evolved over time.
Shout out to Sam Elkins, eh?
Yeah.
If you're listening, bro. We were in America like a couple of months ago, and every time we drove past a car that was like yours, bro, we like looked in and said, "Is that Sam Elkins?"
Yeah. I think we were watching like his kind of West Coast like
vlog,
road trips.
yeah.
Yeah, and just kind of like because we did a lot of those like spots along the West Coast, and like because we were inspired by that as well.
Yeah.
It was sick.
I was looking out for a white car, but it was really a green car. Like I was looking in every single like white Forerunner or whatever they call it over there, and Mitch was like, "Bro, it's actually like green or blue or something like that." And I was like, "Oh man, we've been in for 3 weeks and I've been looking at the wrong car. I've probably missed him."
Yeah, he's probably driven past us like 6 times.
He's probably looking for us. He's like, "I'm right here, guys." I'm like, no, it's not a white car.
I guarantee you not.
What about now? Who you like inspired by, or like does it matter to you anymore, or like you feel like you're at a level now where like you're pretty happy with what you're producing?
I don't know. I kind of go through stages where like I appreciate like people's work, and I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I like whether it's the colors or the framing or the feeling of photos. And then there's like photographers where I look at them and I'm like, I don't understand why people like this. Like these photos are boring to me. Like they just don't have any like life to them. So
we
like,
won't name names.
No. I mean,
nah.
Yeah, it's just like anything, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Art
like,
is subjective. So.
Yeah, you like certain sports and you don't really enjoy watching others, and people love those sports and froth doing that sort of stuff. So everyone's different, and like it's good that we all have different tastes. But yeah, like I think for a long time I was like I really liked what Short Stash Garrett was doing.
I love his stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Like I remember when you showed me his stuff too, dude. I was like, wow. When you show me all these photographers when I was not technically a photographer, I was like, how come I don't know this stuff, or I've been so blind to like this creative world, like and when I started like getting into it more and more, I was like, man, like look at this guy, like and you showed me a lot of stuff, dude. Like thanks for like showing me all that stuff.
I think I really like Short Stash's like subject matter, like his just it's kind of like lifestyle, kind of travel a little bit, but it's not him going to these like places that everyone shoots. Like he kind of stays away from that, which I kind of like. But there's also like other photographers that go to like the famous locations and they do their version of that same sort of photo, and I feel like
it different.
Yeah, I feel like I sort of fell into that like this year a bit, into like trying to be that, and
like when you went overseas.
Yeah, like that was fun and all, but when I really think about like what really inspired me and what like really makes me happy, and like when I post a photo or edit a photo, I'm like, oh damn, I'm really proud of that. It's not really those photos, like they're good, and also the process of making them is like super messy. Like
it's a long journey to get dude. One photo.
Yeah, like the thing is with like chasing like landscape photography and like those travel bangers kind of style of photography is that you could go on like an amazing day and get like amazing conditions, like everything's awesome, and then like a month later someone random like will post like the same location with just like 10 times better light, 10 times better like
all by
conditions
luck.
With like a different angle that you didn't even think of, and you're like, damn it, like you know what I mean? It just kind of feels like everyone's like shooting for the same goal, like, no pun intended, but like I just want to shoot for my own goal,
Yeah.
like to make myself happy, and I've kind of like realized that, I guess, this year. So I'm just gonna do that, like whatever whatever inspirations I find that look cool, and I don't know, there's heaps of cool people doing stuff. Like Finn Matson is like another guy who's doing, like, cool
he's
stuff.
a homie,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Yeah.
he's so cool.
And then even just you guys, like my friends,
Yeah.
like TK, yourself, Ben, and all those dudes, like they're all doing cool stuff. So
Yeah, no, it's cool. I was gonna ask, like, what did you learn, like, from like traveling? You went to Italy.
yeah,
We went to the States together. We're about to go to Japan, not together, but we'll be there at the same time for a long amount of time together. Like, did you feel like going? You even went to Canada as well, like with TK, and Tavis, and you met up with like other photographers and stuff like that. Like, what did you learn from that? Like, did you like going back to what you were saying? Like, did you feel like you could have done more or should have done less, or in regards to taking photos?
Yeah, I think I just had like this bucket list of photos that I wanted to like tick off,
Like,
and like
banger photos.
yeah, and they were like all over the map, and so it basically worked out that that we would go to one place, shoot that, have like one day to shoot it, then drive to the next place, shoot, then drive to the next place, and it was just like exhausting by the end of it.
Oh, I was exhausted.
I remember when we got to San Francisco, and we were like, we had one night in San Fran, and we were like, we had the option open up to us to stay another night and miss the next location, and we took it because we were just like so exhausted, and we were like, you know what, we're really vibing with San Fran. It's like a cool place. We just want to experience it a bit longer.
Like, I would have loved to stay there for like 2 weeks.
Exactly.
That would have been sick.
Yeah. So I think moving forward, I just like, that's kind of the philosophy that I'm going from one extreme to the other, basically.
Yeah.
But the philosophy of like planning the Japan trip was that I would just stay in Tokyo and do like little day trips, and maybe do like a couple of days, in different cities or different areas, but just mainly focusing on like, okay, I'm going to stay in this place, really get to experience it, soak it up, meet a lot of people, collaborate with people, and really just like, instead of just focusing on shooting like Instagram bangers, like actually focus on like the most important content to me, which is just making videos, because like that's what I want to do.
And the cool thing about making videos, I guess, is you're putting both together, the photo and the video together.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're kind of killing two birds with one stone, and I guess, creating a business out of it.
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, you always do need those days where you just go out to take photos, because like the whole thing with YouTube is like, it's basically a full-time job making like 1 or 2 videos a week. And you have to think about like, okay, what's the idea for this video? What's the thumbnail? What's the title? How are like people gonna watch the whole thing? They're gonna stick around. Like, I need to make it exciting. I need to make it engaging, and like there's so many things that you're thinking about, especially while you're shooting. You're like, oh well, at this point I need to like say something on camera, or I need to like make it so that this thing happens or whatever. And I know a lot of my friends as well who do YouTube like experience this. It's like you're so focused on making the video that the photos kind of go out the window, or you're not 100% focused on it. And like I've kind of felt that way, that like I haven't really made anything good recently. And all the stuff that I have made that I'm really proud of is like when I wasn't making a video. So
I remember our first day in LA, we were having breakfast, and I was like, all right, this is the video I want to do when we get to this place. I want to do this video. I want to do this. I guess you kind of told me like, just chill, bro. Like, don't worry about like trying to make this or trying to make that. Like, just, just relax. Like, stop thinking about it too much maybe. And like some days I'd want to make a video, and I'd be like, am I making a video? Am I taking photos? Like, are these photos good enough for the video? Is the footage I'm taking?
You kind of split your attention and they end up both being shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it's, you kind of like in two worlds. You're like, I want to make really good videos. I need to talk to the video, and then I need to take photos. Also, I've got to get like the model to like do what I want them to do. So it's like, a few different things that you got to, and yeah, I'm kind of in the same bro, did you like, we all went to, Mitch and I, and our partners, Amanda and Leon, went to America like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
And it was busy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I loved the trip, but like, I reckon like I wouldn't do it like that ever again. Like,
Yeah, it was odd.
yeah, like we did 14-hour drive from Utah to like Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, it was a long drive. Like,
We saw some awesome stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like everything we did and everything we saw, dude. Like, I'll do it. Like, I was grateful for it and like happy we did it and happy like. But I'll never plan anything like that again. Like,
Yeah.
I'll do it like a totally different way. And like you said, like spending 2 weeks in like a certain place.
Yeah.
Is probably far more beneficial than like, let's go to like 14 different spots in like 3 weeks. You know, like how many Airbnbs did we book in like 24 days? It was like 13 Airbnbs in like 24 days.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. And everywhere we went, dude, was like 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive, 14-hour drive, 7-hour drive.
Yeah.
And then when we got to locations, it's like, all right, we're going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get sunrise. And it's a 3-hour drive to get there. And it was like, it sounds easier said than done.
Yeah. And then it's like raining or something and the conditions are shit.
Yeah.
And it's like too sunny and you kind of want a little bit of cloud. Or, yeah.
And you don't have time to even just edit as well. Like, because you're like so tired.
Yeah.
You still got to eat lunch. You still got to eat dinner. Like,
yeah, it's just so much. Yeah.
Were you like that when you went to Canada?
It was a similar vibe.
Because you went to Canada right after us in America.
Yeah, yeah. It was a little bit more chill. Like, it was definitely good to just relax a little bit. But my head just wasn't in the right place for making videos, I think. I didn't really know.
Too tired?
What I was doing. No, I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't have ideas. Like,
no ideas. No gears.
I didn't have
you had all the gears but no ideas.
Yeah, I actually did.
Jesus.
Yeah, I actually had no idea. I don't know. Is this sometimes that you're really inspired and you're like, oh, I don't know. I feel like I booked the trip and then I was like, I'll figure out the video ideas later, and then they just never came.
Yeah. So how many videos do you reckon you made out of that Canadian trip or Canada trip?
I think it was like 3 or 4.
Do you have any more coming out from that, or?
Probably not. I mean, I took a bunch of footage, but
you could probably make something in the future.
I mean, I probably could, but I didn't focus on it enough. I think I was just kind of like enjoying the process of just like making like photos. And I did pass up a lot of opportunities to make some cool videos of like, oh, you know, hey, we're doing this today, we're traveling here and stuff. But like, I just didn't want to make vlogs because I don't think that people really want to like watch vlogs like anymore.
Of you?
I don't know.
Of
like,
anyone?
maybe like photo vlogs. Like, I don't know if that's really my style. So
yeah, like I did a vlog of a camping trip that we went down to Melbourne, and like I thought, I was like, this is sick, this is gonna be cool. And then like nothing, no one watched it. But then I'll do like a portrait video, and like I'll get all the views. Like, it's weird, right? Like, I put in all this work to like make a video and think it's really good, and then like, yeah, I'm talking as well. Like, I'm like writing scripts. I'm like planning everything out and all this stuff, and just doesn't work.
It's like pulling on both ends. Is like, on one end it's like, oh, I'm just gonna make what I want to make and then have no expectations. It's like, as long as I'm proud of it, then I can put it out and feel happy. And then on the other end, it's like, you also want validation and you want views, and especially if you are trying to make YouTube your full-time thing, then it's kind of a necessity. So it's kind of pulling on both ends. It's like, well, I have to please myself by making things that I'm proud of and things that I want to make, and then also I want those videos to get all the views. And it's like, well, sometimes you just can't have both. You just have to kind of like make one for the algorithm and then one for you, or one for search and then one for you. So yeah.
What did you rate better, Italy or like American trip or Canada? Like,
I don't know, they're both so different. Like, I loved Italy in terms of like, it felt a little bit more foreign. Like, you can't just go and buy like the things that you normally are used to buying, like to eat, for example.
What was it, just pasta and pizza?
Yeah, like its options are super limited, and it's kind of cool though, because it kind of forces you to just live a little bit differently, and like that day-to-day difference, I don't know, just it's just interesting, and it's a fun little challenge. But like, here I am like explaining traveling the world like it's a challenge.
Yeah. Oh, dude, but like that's the best thing about traveling is like figuring out the train system, figuring out like where's a good place to eat. Like,
yeah, it is.
that's like,
It's a challenge.
yeah, that's the best part, I reckon, of traveling.
It's a good challenge. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, but it's like in America, I felt like for the most part, everything was kind of like the same as Australia, but just
Bit bigger.
yeah, and I don't know if it's bigger. It's just like, yeah, I don't want to throw any shade.
The American government won't come after you, bro. It's fine. Like, you'll be sweet.
Yeah, I don't know. Like finding good coffee and like finding a nice like cafe to just sit and chill at was like a bit harder.
Yeah, I'm not like the biggest coffee guy. Like, I need a coffee, but I'm not like the biggest like, oh, this tastes amazing, this doesn't.
Yeah.
But dude, I noticed in most places in America where we went, the coffee was not delicious, or it wasn't working or anything like that.
Yeah.
What do they use? Drip coffee or something like that?
No, I don't know.
Whatever it is.
It's just like instant coffee or no, not
Nescafe.
like depends where you go, but
Shout out to Nescafe.
yeah, but like coffee for them is just like I think a little bit more of a hey, I'm tired, I need a coffee, and I'm just gonna slam this down. Whereas like in Australia, we really like try to enjoy it, I guess.
Well, I think like over there, that'd be more like our coffee is like, let's, Starbucks it up, like get the cream and get the like sugars
It's
and
a sugar bomb.
yeah, that's like their coffee. I think that's
true.
their vibes. Like,
Yeah.
let's get excited about coffee. Like, and us is more like, let's have a coffee so we can like talk and hang out and, like let's go grab a coffee. Yeah, it's social for us. Theirs is like, this is exciting. Like, let's have fun with it. Like, but I could be wrong. So nobody in America hate me on that. Like, hey, we went to some cool places in America. I loved America. The fast food over there was unreal. Like, I mean, it's not the best food, but like it was tasty. Shout out to Jollibee. We had Jollibee like 6 times over there. Like, it was awesome. Yeah. I'm Filipino and so yeah, we're frothing it. Like, there was some good stuff there. But all the photos we took over there, like, I loved it, man. Even though like I was tired most of the time.
Yeah, they were crazy. Yeah. Like some of the craziest stuff I've seen for sure. Like the desert in Utah and like all that stuff was just like
the salt flats.
Nuts. Like, yeah, it's crazy because you see it all like in video games and movies and stuff growing up, like the amount of like American culture that we kind of consume. But yeah, going there is like on another level, and yeah, it was awesome to see it all, and yeah, we got some crazy good photos.
Yeah,
I was like stoked on that.
And it's like crazy to see how like people in LA are like way different to like people in Utah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So crazy different, right? Like,
yeah.
But then you come to Australia, and I think you were trying to explain this to like somebody over there that like if you were living in Brisbane and then Sydney and Melbourne, like most people are pretty similar. Like,
dress exactly the same.
Dress similar, talk similar.
Yeah.
There's not much of a difference in accents, like at all probably, like.
I wonder why we're so like homogenized.
But then you like, there's some like, I guess Aussie blokes were like, hey, go on, like, hey, go on, mate, yeah, fair income, they talk like that. But like, majority of us, like, I guess 90% of us are like talking like you and I. Hey, how you doing, bro? Like, all good, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But then you go to the States and like, you got like the Boston accent, you got the New York accent, you got like, the Boston's one like, get in the car, like that, like, I don't know if that's right, but that's the only, get in the car.
That's how
is that how they say it?
I have no idea.
I don't know, dude. Like, get in the car. But like, yeah, I noticed that in America, like it was so different, even like city to city.
Yeah. Like
the people over there, in LA, they're like so loud and like flamboyant, I guess is the word, or like no shame maybe. Like, yeah. And then in Utah, I felt like Utah was very like, a little bit like Australia, very chill.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
They were relaxed. Like we went to the shopping mall there and stuff, and like it didn't seem like anything different to Australia.
No.
But the salt flats, dude, probably my favorite place.
Yeah,
that was probably my favorite place to take photos.
Yep.
Is that your favorite place, or did you have like somewhere else?
I just thought like the whole like Antelope Canyon was pretty spectacular. To see that in person and like walk through that was awesome.
It was a cool tour.
Yeah, it was great, and definitely exceeded my expectations. The salt flats in terms of like photography was probably like up there pretty high, because like here in Australia, like we have coasts, we have beaches, we have all that stuff, so like the whole coastline with the mountains and everything was really spectacular, but like we've seen it. Like here in Australia, we do have like a massive desert and stuff like that, but no one really ever goes out there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, what are you going out there for?
I feel like in Australia, like, yeah, we, not to be biased, but we probably do have the best beaches. But it's like, you see one beach, you see another beach. Like, it's kind of like that. And in America, dude, like, the vast, like, we'll drive like an hour and it'll be cold. And then another hour, it'll be like kind of warm.
Yeah.
Or it's like green and then it's like desert.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's definitely diverse. Like, here is, it's kind of the same no matter where you are.
Yeah, like the people.
yeah. Except, like, maybe if you compare the north to the south, then it's different. But if you compare the east to the west, there's no difference whatsoever. So, even, like, the birds and the trees and, like, just everything, it's, like, sounds the same, smells the same, looks the same.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Like, we were over there in summer and, like, we even saw, like, patches of snow.
Yeah.
Like, random, right?
Crazy.
Like,
yeah. Just the extremes and, like, the fog.
Yeah,
like
in San Fran.
Northern California and in Oregon as well. Like, Pacific Northwest, like, that foggy kind of vibe where it's, like, a little bit humid, but it's also kind of cool and then warm during the day. It was, like, really interesting to experience, yeah.
So now, like, I guess you finished up with Italy and Canada and America now, and obviously now we're all going to go to Japan towards the end of the year. What's your expectation for it? Like, what are you? When do you leave, or like when do you get there? And
so
because you're there longer than I am.
Yeah, I wanted to, like, after the last trip, because I was away for like 6 weeks, I was like, oh, that's too long to be away, and then I immediately booked like an 8-week, 10-week trip or something like that, which is really funny. But
that's based by price, basically.
Yeah, it's like, hey, these are the cheapest dates to go, so fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, I'm going from mid-November to the start of February, so I'll be there for like 10 weeks, I think. And I just want to get there and settle into like a routine, you know, like kind of live in another city. I guess. Like, it's kind of not really that holiday vibe where you're like hopping around or going to different places. It's like, no, I just want to go and live and experience a different place long term, because like I feel like I haven't done that before, so it's just a new experience for me, which should be fun. And I want to get into like a little routine, like I said, like maybe sign up for a gym membership, maybe like go to a co-working space.
That's sick, dude.
There'll be people coming and going like while I'm there, so like
you'll meet heaps of people.
Yeah, I got friends from the States who are going to be there, and then I got friends from here who are obviously, you know, coming over to spend time with us, and other people that I, you know, might just meet up with for a couple of days. And like, yeah, so it's just going to be me setting up like a little base and just experiencing like what it's like to live in a different country for a couple of months.
Nomad, is that what you call it?
Yeah, I guess
Kinda,
so. Yeah, I mean, those people like might settle in for a longer period of time. Like, I've got another friend who, he just like moved to Thailand and just stayed there for like, I can't remember, it's definitely more than like 6 months, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, like.
No, that's cool. Bro, I'm so excited for Japan. Like, even though we were there November 2019, we were with like 12 of us. It was like a big crew of us. It was so fun. Like, such a vibe, dude. Like, but one thing I regret about it was I did not take enough photos when I was there, because somebody showed me a film camera and I bought it and I went ham on film. I bought like 10 rolls.
You only shot.
Only shot film. I shot with like 2 other models. For on digital, but I was so like focused on film, and that was even like another regret too. Was like, I guess you were like trying to like tell me to like get into YouTube. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, let's do YouTube. So like I met up with a model and we filmed it, and dude, like I hated it. Like I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know what to say. I was worried like what I look like while taking photos, like when you're filming me. Yeah. So I was like, don't worry about it, bro. We're not doing this. Like, I don't want to do it. Like, and I regret it, man. Like,
I feel like everyone has that experience though. Like, I've definitely filmed videos and been like, nah, that ain't it. You know, it's just part of it. Like, and you feel bad because you spent the whole day trying to do it, and you organize like the model and the person who filmed it and stuff. Like, you feel bad, but then at the end of the day, it's like you can't win like 100% of the time. Like, you can't just have like perfect. You know, I'm not saying it has to be perfect, but it's like
you got to feel it.
You shouldn't put something out that you're not proud of. Like, why bother? Like, you have the freedom to put out whatever you want into the world, and the thing with the internet is once you put it out, it's going to be there forever. So like, just take your time and like make it something that you want. to represent yourself. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's like the other side of like, oh no, just ship it, like whatever. It's like, no, like think about it. This is going to be in the world forever. So like make it good. Don't
Well,
feel bad.
that's like one thing I'm excited about going to Japan this time. Is like we're there for 5 weeks, and I'm gonna have more time to like chill, more time to actually think about a video, more time to like connect with like other videographers, photographers, and models to like actually meet up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we're in the States, dude, we're in a place for like 2 days, and like no one's free. Like you've got to message them. They've got to actually read the message. Like and like they might not be free, or like they might be
down
working.
with the ideas and stuff.
Yeah,
like
exactly. So like this trip, dude, like I'm pretty pumped. Like I'm not gonna go like think too hard into it. I'm not gonna be like I need to make a video here. I need to do this. I need to do that. I'm just gonna like, and Amanda too. Like she's gonna make her YouTube video, so I'm gonna help her out with those videos and stuff like that. And
nice.
when we meet up, you and I, like if you want me to, make videos for you, like it's good to be over there for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So like I'm not worried about like, do I need to make mine today?
Yeah.
Can I help Mitch, or can I help TK with a video? Can they help me? Can I help Amanda? Like it's good. Like even though you're there for like double the time than me, like I still think 5 weeks for me is like,
that'd be epic.
Yeah,
it'd be so good.
Also, like this is my first time being overseas for longer than like, so originally before we went to America, my first time overseas, my longest time overseas was 2 weeks, and then it went to 3 weeks with America, and now this is 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And like the world I've built for my photography has been able to let me go overseas now for 5 weeks, and like it's so, I'm like kind of grateful, like I'm like holy
cool.
shit, like I'm actually like overseas for 5 weeks, and I'm not worried about money, I'm not worried about work, responsibilities. I'm not worried about like any of this, and I'm just worried about me and Amanda, and I'm worried about my friends. Like I'm worried about the good things. Like so, like I'm so excited to like be over there and be able to wake up, go, hey Mitch, I'll be at your apartment in like 5 minutes, bro. Let's go get a coffee. Like let's don't worry about like making a video, or like let's make a video, or
like just have chill down days.
I'll sign up to like that sometimes fitness I think it's called over there. We'll sign up for a week, and I'll get buff. Like it'll be sweet. But yeah, there's heaps of stuff I want to do over there.
What's like number one on your list?
Not to go, probably like I want to shoot a YouTube. I'm probably going into like making videos now. Even though I said I don't want to stress too much about it, but like if I was to make a YouTube video over there, like that I really want to, is to make a video in Yo-Yo G Park.
Oh
yeah, if that's how you say it, like Yo-Yo G.
Yo-Yo G.
And probably get some panning shots.
Oh, yeah.
Like you inspired me with like those shots like from Japan, like when you went, and like that's why I was like a bit angry at myself, bro, because I was like, I didn't take any photos over there. Like I didn't like bother. Like, and that's I guess like being there only for 2 weeks and wanting to like do this and wanting to do that, but not focusing on like other things. When now for 5 weeks I can focus on one thing, and then next week I can focus on another thing. And stuff like that. Do you have much lined up over there or anything like that?
I think like I have vague ideas, but it's still like more than a month away now, so I'll probably start refining stuff like soon. But I definitely want to make sure that the people that I want to collaborate with are there at the same time, and like things will line up properly. And then it's just like waiting on like other people's plans as well. So
you're flying over with our mate Gerard. You're flying together.
We got the same flight.
Same flight
there, and then
same flight, same room, same toothbrush. Same.
We're going economically. Saving money.
Bamboo toothbrush, is it? Well, bamboo is like Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that. Is it? I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know where bamboo is from.
I think they have a lot of bamboo stuff. I mean, there's the bamboo forest, right?
Yeah, sweet.
That's what it's famous. Like that's what Kyoto's famous for.
But
probably other stuff.
But I guess you're there a month before me, basically, or like 3 weeks before I get there.
So I kind of want to just like smash out like 3 or 4 video ideas, just like in that first 2 weeks. And then like when you guys rock up, we can just kind of relax a little bit and have more of like holiday mode and stuff like that. And then, so it should be good.
So like the day I rock up, you'll film for me.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
want,
so
whatever.
straight into
Yeah,
videos.
dude. Let's
Yeah,
go.
sweet. I'm so keen, dude.
Yeah.
And then we'll be over there for like Christmas, New Year's. So like TK will meet up with us.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be sick, right?
Yeah. I think ever since like being in Bali for New Year's 2018, I was like, I never want to be in my home city for another New Year's.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, just I don't know. You start the year like with a different kind of feeling. Like, I don't know. I love being at home. Don't get me wrong. I love the city that we live in. I love the country that we live in. But it's just like the same thing that you've experienced like 30 times over.
Yeah, there's like you can do New Year's and party.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Yeah.
Or nothing really, like chill at home, or maybe go to a beach and see the fireworks. But like to spend New Year's in like another country is like, oh wow.
Yeah,
like
it's awesome. It's an awesome feeling, especially when you're surrounded by other like foreigners as well who are also experiencing like a New Year's away from home. It's kind of a cool feeling.
Yeah, I remember like when I was young, like I think I was like 18, and someone told me like what you're doing on New Year's night is like gonna set you up for the year. Like a little like, you know, like a I don't know what is it, you know, like your charge your crystals type of talk, you know, like, you know, whatever that is.
Woo
Woo, a bit of woo, yeah. Like I reckon like, but
So
I kind of believe that like in a way, like having a good time on New Year's, like or doing something different on New Year's to what you usually do is like
being blind drunk.
Yeah. Hey, dude, I'll be blind drunk in Japan. Don't worry. Like, hey, I'd rather be blind drunk in Japan than blind drunk at like Fortitude Valley.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and waiting for like a $70 cab to take me home. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Like, sure. I would be happy to be blind drunk in Tokyo and spend $150 on a cab to take me home. You know, like, which story would you rather tell someone?
Yeah.
Blind drunk in the valley in your hometown, or blind drunk like. Yeah, not that I'm a big drinker or anything like that, but like, you know what I mean? Like, even just spending New Year's Day in Japan, like, it's like, wow, like I'm in a new country and like experiencing like their New Year's. Yeah. You know, or their Christmas.
Is New Year's a big deal for them though? I feel like, do they have some kind of like different New Year's?
They don't have like Chinese New Year's, like Japanese New Year's, do they?
I don't know.
We should look that up.
We should figure that out.
We need another person here to like
Imagine
look
if
up.
it's just nothing. Like,
yeah, they didn't care.
Yeah, it's just a normal day.
Yeah, they were just like, we're like, yeah, Happy New Year. And they're like, we're going to bed. It's 10. I'm like, oh, sorry.
It's like a Tuesday night.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, what are you going to be doing at when the bell goes off or whatever the bell, I don't know. Like, what are you guys, they're like, we got work tomorrow, you know, we work hard here. Like, you know, I don't know about the Australian culture. Yeah. But on Christmas, they do like, and anyone Japanese out there, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that like KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken is like a big thing there on Christmas.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like their Valentine's Day or something like that.
What?
Yeah, so if you've got your girlfriend over in Japan, like Christmas time's probably not the best time to go because you gotta get Valentine's Day mode.
Oh shit! But you just buy them KFC, right?
Yeah, I think it's a buffet they do over there, so it's like all you can eat KFC on Christmas Day.
That's so dangerous.
Dangerous for the bank account or the arteries? Both. Fuck. But yeah, I'm keen to go over there, dude. One thing I wanted to ask you though is like, how's your YouTube going? Like I've known you now for a long time, and like I guess I've seen you grow. Yeah. Even though you've always been like, at another level than I am at YouTube, but like,
well, just because I started earlier.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. But like, even though you were like at a higher level, like I've always seen you like get more and more subs and more views on each video and better videos, and like, how are you now at it? Like, where's your YouTube now?
I'm still lost. Like, it's still like my first day.
You're grade 1.
Yeah, basically, I haven't graduated from grade 1 yet. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like, I think you can be more informed about what kinds of videos and what things that you put out like are going to be more successful than others. But then you'll always go and have like a rude shock when you're like, oh, that video, I thought it was going to do well. Like, that still happens to me, and I think it still happens to everyone, you know? You can never really predict it, and so all you can really do is make things that you think are valuable and just keep throwing stuff against the wall, and like eventually something will stick. It was like a video that I made like on a random Thursday, and it was just an idea that I had kicking around inside my head for a while, and I was like, oh, this is a pretty easy video to make, probably won't get that many views. I'll just make it. this week because it's easy and I've got other stuff that I need to focus on anyway. Make the video and it's like, it gets like, within a year, it's like 850,000 views. And it's like,
it's unreal.
What? Like, I didn't even expect that video to like, you know, do well at all. And it's like, well, that's a video that like carried my channel for like a year in terms of like growth and stuff like that. So you just like, you never really know. And so,
have you ever made like a video like that since? like similar?
Yeah, there's been a few. Like, there's one that we made together. I think that's still
Zoom
doing
and the
well.
Prime.
Still doing.
We've done
really
like
well.
2 of them or 3 of them.
I think
now.
we did 3. Yeah,
we should do a 4th in Japan.
we definitely should.
Yeah, that'll be sick.
But I'm sort of like, I don't want to like tire out that kind of.
Yeah, that's like you're always doing it with Carlo, bro. Like the Zoom and Primes with Carlo.
Yeah, and it's like, well, we've done like 24-70 versus 35, right?
Yeah.
And then we've done like wide angle, and we've done
the Tamron
like
35 to 150.
Yeah, that's like the mid range zoom, or like the do it all telephoto. We've kind of covered all the bases, so I don't know what we could do that wouldn't be repetitive again.
But the thing is, like, when we did all those, you were like Canon. Like, what's your like reasoning of like switching from Canon system to Sony?
Did I switch?
I don't know. Did you?
Yeah, I mean, like,
I wouldn't say switch, but like, you know, you kind of like favored Sony at the moment for a bit.
Yeah, like I'm definitely not reaching for like my Canon at the moment. It's just not like, I'll definitely keep making the reviews. Like when the lenses come out, I'll try my best to get my hands on a lens so I can actually like give my opinion about it. And I really like Canon.
You still love Canon?
Yeah, it's awesome. Like nothing will beat their autofocus system because they've got that patent on the dual pixel autofocus, which is just like crazy good, crazy accurate. I don't care what anyone else says. Like you can be like, oh, Sony this, Sony that, whatever. But like I've used both, and I know like I can compare them both, and I know that like the Canon is just always better. Like, in terms of like the lens selection, I just feel as though like I've got a bunch of lenses now for Sony. Like I think like 10 or 12. So they just keep accumulating them. And like there are some awesome lenses that you just can't get with the native Canon. And like people are like, oh yeah, but you can just use the adapter and like use the older lenses. And it's like, yeah, I could do that, but like why would I want to add like an extra like 10 centimeters to every single lens that I own? And you know, these lenses are a little bit older. Most of them don't perform as well. And I think Tamron and Sigma just collectively discontinued about 40 lenses or something like that.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm going through it right now with Canon. So
yeah,
like, you know.
So it's like, well, yeah, now you got to buy them used.
Yeah.
So
I've got like all the lenses that I want now, but like still, like I can completely understand. Like,
yeah.
Do you feel like the Sony stuff's like better to travel with too?
Oh, yes and no. Like,
or very similar.
It's very similar. The bodies are pretty light, like, but it's also, I think the R6 and the A7 IV, like the difference between them is only like 100 grams or something. Like okay. It's not a big deal. Could even be less than that. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but yeah, like it's just the options. Like for example, Tamron 17-28 and 70 to 180. I could use those two lenses. They're super light. They're both 2.8. They're amazingly sharp. I could just use those lenses if I wanted to in just one camera body and get away with like not having to upgrade my carry-on luggage and still take my laptop and all my stuff.
What are you going to bring to Japan? Everything?
Yeah, I've actually been
because you were there for a long time.
Yeah, no, I've been avoiding this this question.
You're going to like get everyone to bring stuff over like one by one?
I think because the airline that we're flying with, they allow you to upgrade your carry-on to like 14 kilos. Which is
that
like,
who you flying with?
Jetstar.
Do they?
Yeah.
How much is that upgrade? $200?
No, I think it's way less than that.
$80.
I think it might be $80.
That's alright.
That's actually worth it.
Well, yeah, especially if you're bringing camera gear. Like if your carry-on is like clothes and it's like 14 kilos, something's wrong. Like you need help. Like like there's something. Yeah, like if anything, like maybe bringing back 14 kilos is fine because you went shopping.
Yeah.
But to go somewhere like something's wrong if you're bringing like.
I mean, we wouldn't be surprised if it was one of the girls.
Yeah, it'd be one of the girls for sure. Like, hey, we went to Japan with someone. We won't name names, but they had like 3 suitcases and 2 of them were carry-ons, and one of them was shoes. Like we were only there for 2 weeks.
Suitcase of shoes for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and Mitch was carrying around up and down stairs.
I want to go to Japan, right? But I don't want to wear the same pair of shoes twice.
Nah, no way, bro.
I don't even want to wear like a pair of shoes for the entire day.
No.
Like I want to get to lunchtime and switch it out.
No, because I'm gonna go like Crocs, and then I'm gonna go Jandals, and then I'm gonna go Chucks, in the same hour. Like, I
Dude,
might change on the halfway through the plane ride.
I was in USA. Well, we were in USA, and then I was after that Canada, and I had 2 pairs of shoes for like 2 months, and like I did everything in those 2 pairs of shoes.
Do they stink?
Yeah, like.
But when you're with the boys, no one
Not
cares.
really.
The
I'm
boys
pretty
don't care.
clean. Like I clean my stuff, so I like clean my shoes all the time. But yeah, like I ended up throwing out one of the pairs of shoes because it was just like they just got destroyed. So
Dirt and shit.
yeah, like I hiked in them.
Yeah.
So it's like I was hiking in Vans as well.
How long was those hikes? Like 7-hour walks? 3-hour walks?
I think the longest I did in Vans was like maybe a 3.5-hour hike.
So are you saying anyone can hike in Vans or not recommended?
No, you wouldn't recommend
No,
it.
okay.
Yeah, I actually don't like hiking boots anymore. I used to think they were good, but I don't like them anymore. They're too heavy.
Too heavy and like not worth it? Like money wise? Because I was thinking that when we bought them for Tasmania.
They kind of look cool in photos, like you look the part.
Yeah, but no
right?
one's taking photos of us, so like,
No.
yeah. So why?
I'd rather just wear like joggers, like some of those like Nike like foam, what do you call it, midsole?
Yeah.
Like
Just
they're
runners.
so light. Yeah, they're so light and they're like
They're
so
grippy.
comfortable, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, I was wearing mine. Like,
Yeah.
shout out to Nike because I bought mine at the DFO,
Mm.
$45. Yeah, mad discount. And I wore them in America everywhere.
Nice.
Ruined them, and like, yeah, they're sweet.
Yeah.
But then the hiking shoes I bought were like $150.
Yeah.
I wore them just to Tasmania.
Yeah, maybe if it's like super cold, like you're hiking in the snow for sure. Like,
Well, it is gonna snow in Japan, but you wouldn't consider walking on the street hiking. So
yeah, I mean, if we go into the mountains and stuff, then we might. But I just don't really see us doing that.
just get cold ankles.
Mm.
Sweet, frostbite on the ankles. Is that a thing?
I have no idea.
We'll find out.
I think you only get frostbite like on your very like
Tips
your
of the fingers and toes and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get like frostbite on your shoulder.
Oh, like your nose maybe?
Yeah, nose, ear.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Why are we
Hopefully
talking
not.
about frostbite?
Because we're going to Japan, it's going to be cold over there. Like, it's going to be freezing. One thing I wanted to ask, actually, I don't know this about you, even though I've known you since we were 8.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if people know that as well. Like, we've known each other since, like, under 8s rugby.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mitch and I are, like, in our early 30s.
Yeah.
And we've known each other since we were under 8s.
Very early 30s.
Very early 30s, by the way. So, yeah, we're not that old. But, yeah, we've known each other for a long time. Funny thing is, though, when we've, like, after rugby, and I think we met like at someone's 16th birthday or something, or 18th.
Yeah.
And like the guy that owns the house, a guy at the house was like, "Hey, you guys were on the same rugby team," and he showed us a photo of us on the rugby team. That's how
Really?
like I didn't know you, dude, when I saw you.
Really?
So obviously we were we played on the same rugby team for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, I didn't know anything about you. Obviously, I went to different high schools and shit.
Yeah.
But then at this party, I think it was Matt Webster. Shout out to Webby. But he showed me a photo of our rugby team.
Oh, yeah.
And you were in it. And he's like, "Hey, we're on the same team." And like I looked at it and I was like, "Hey, that's you."
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know who you were when
Really?
I met you.
True.
Yeah.
I don't know if I remembered you or not. I think I would have. I do. I still have memories of you on the footy field. Like back when we were real young.
I remember you. I when I looked at you for the first time,
gotcha.
like at that party,
You
I
forgot.
didn't know who you were. Like,
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, I wasn't like, "Oh, that's the guy I played like under 8s rugby with." You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
You know,
I
like,
see what you mean.
yeah, I wasn't like that. Like, but yeah, we've known each other for a long time now, dude. Like,
Mm.
and then out of the blue, one day I think I messaged you and I was like, "Hey, I bought a camera. You take photos. Like, can you show me?"
Help me. Yeah.
And the funniest thing is though, you and I we hate taking photos at nighttime. We don't like nighttime photography. And when I asked Mitch to like, "Hey, bro, can you show me some like photo stuff?" He goes, "Yeah, let's go out tonight and take photos." Like,
At night.
I've never taken one nighttime photo in my life, and he decides either is he.
Yeah, you learned nothing that night.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh no, I learned like slow shutter." And, like,
Yeah, but you never used
I never
it.
used it. I was like, "Oh yeah, I probably will for maybe like some panning stuff."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like, you've never done like long exposures
Yeah,
or
no.
time lapses or anything
No.
like that. But yeah. That is like a good exercise to show you that like, hey, look, the shutter opens and it shuts and there's a
Yeah.
time there. Like
Yeah.
you need to consider that.
Maybe if the day that you like taught me like camera stuff,
Mm.
if it was in the daytime, maybe I would have been like, "Fuck this, I'm gonna go nighttime." I
Yeah,
could have been
you
a
did the
nighttime
opposite.
guy. You know, like I could have been the nighttime guy. Because like heaps of our friends would always say like, "Hey, let's go on a nighttime mission and like, take photos," and I'd always be like, "Cool, I want to hang out, but I don't want to take photos, dude. Like, I don't like. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to take photos of like the stars or like
That was like when Liam and Mike were staying in Brisbane.
Yeah.
We would be like putting our cameras away and
they'd be taking it out. Yeah, I put mine away. I put mine in the bed, tuck it in. It's done. I wake it up in the morning for sunrise. They're like all nighters, like night owl cameras.
Yeah.
But that's that joke, hey, like if you're a Sony shooter,
you
only shoot at night.
You only shoot neon signs at night. Yeah.
So now that you shoot Sony.
What was that question you were going to ask me?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, how did you get like into YouTube? Like, why did you decide? All right, this is like, I actually don't know. Like,
well, yeah, I mean, I learned the vast majority of like my skills from YouTube and watching other like YouTube videos. So like, for me, I already knew about that world and like, all the ins and outs of it, and I was like, oh, it would be cool to like I think everyone has that feeling. Like,
what were you watching?
Just like other YouTubers, like camera people, yeah. And like, I think everyone has that kind of feeling. They're like, oh, I would be sick to be a YouTuber. I would be sick to make YouTube videos or like all that kind of stuff. And I always had that, but then at that moment, I had like a freelance business, going. So I was like, well, I can't really do that. I'm more so focused on doing this. So like, I'll just do this and put all my effort into that. And then that kind of just, I kind of got burnt out from the whole business thing. It was like very tiring, and
that was weddings.
Yeah. And then I did a video on my channel. It's like my story and like explaining it all. So like, if anyone wants to like, hear like the full story where I go in like heaps more depth, then you can watch that.
It'll be in the descriptions.
Sweet. Thanks, bro.
I got you. I'll link you, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, essentially it was just like, hey, I don't want to do this business anymore. I want to do something else different. And then in the back of my mind, I was always like, because I'd posted a few YouTube videos like over the years, just like random little camera tests. And then I did one where I actually spoke to the camera in like 2015, I think.
How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, it was all right. It was a cool little like test to see like, my first go. I wish I could go back and like be a fly on the wall, like watch myself make that video, because it'd be really interesting.
Were you like,
to see,
fuck? Were you like, oh, this is
maybe? I don't even remember making it.
Really?
Like, I kind of remember like sitting down and making it, but
it's a long time ago though.
Yeah, it was ages ago. It was like 7 years ago now. But yeah, I'd always kind of dabbled in it, but never really focused on it. And I think at that, like in 2019, just before I started actually making them consistently, I think I had like 6,000 subscribers. Yeah, just over like, it would have been, like 4 years, right? Of,
but like
when did videos?
So over the 4 years though, like maybe the last year of those 4 years is when you started like.
Oh, not even.
Or not?
It was like more of like a gradual. Yeah. I guess like I made a video about like the GH4 and like how to color grade the footage, and I think that got like, over those like 4 years or so, probably got like 80,000 views or something like that.
That's so good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's just those like searchable videos that I made, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I was making like a tiny little bit of money off it just from like Amazon affiliates. Like I'd get a check for like $50 a month from that, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Imagine if I did this like full time, I might have potential to do like,
$50 is $50, bro.
Yeah, like I could definitely see myself like scaling into that. And then one day I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna freelance and shoot, and like kind of like the shoot and burn kind of thing, where you're just shooting for another company, you give them the footage, and then you walk away. Like you don't have to deal with the client, you don't have to do any editing like that. And I was like, I'll just do this and make my money that way, and then just like try to build a YouTube channel. So that was basically like start of 2019. I was like, all right, let's do it. And then from there it just... Did anyone
like without watching other YouTube videos, did like anyone like help you, or was it you learning yourself everything?
No, I think I was pretty self-taught in terms of like the YouTube stuff. I didn't really know anyone who like personally who was like helping me or saying like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Luckily there's like, you can learn everything on YouTube. Yeah. Like there's YouTube channels about making YouTube channels. Yeah. Like it's that level. So
video Google.
Yeah, all the information's out there. I mean, I learned a lot about SEO and stuff like that just through my business. And yeah. So I knew about like how to create, essentially like how to find out what thing what things people are searching for and what volume, and then like how to create keywords or whatever to actually like connect the dots and make videos like actually hit the algorithm. So yeah.
Cool. So you just recently got like 80,000 subs?
Yep.
How long do you reckon it'll take to get 100?
I don't really put any pressure on
I know.
it. Yeah.
Do you have a estimate, like the way it's growing?
Well, probably like another year. Yeah, like the channel in terms of subscribers isn't growing very fast. But then the views are like, I seem to be getting a very consistent amount of views, which is good. With YouTube, like people think it's like all about subscribers, but the reality is it's all about views. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like you could be subscribed to me, but that doesn't mean you're going to watch my videos. Yeah. And you could not be subscribed to me, and that doesn't mean that you're not going to watch my videos. Like, so
it's always recommended.
Yeah, because like if somebody watches me, it's like you see this all the time with like other channels. They'll be like, hey guys, look at my subscriber metric. Like 80% of you guys aren't subscribed. And it's like, well, yeah, like why do they need to subscribe? Because the YouTube algorithm is going to give you their videos because the YouTube algorithm knows that you like their videos.
Yeah.
So the subscribe is just like more of a formal way. So I've noticed in the last 2 years that it used to be that like, say if I got like 10,000 views, then I would get 100 subscribers, right? Now it's like when I get 10,000 views, it's like I might get like 50 subscribers. Like, so that kind of ratio is like diminished a little bit. And I think that's to do with the fact that people just aren't following, subscribing, doing those things anymore because the algorithms have gotten to the point where you're never at a stage where you feel like you need to curate your feed. Like it's already curated for you. So
I also reckon like a small percentage of people that like aren't subscribed, they're just not even logged into their YouTube, maybe. You know, like they just like, because like when I'm on my phone, I'm logged in to like so like if I find a page or a channel that I like, I can subscribe. But if I'm watching like off my TV, off, you know, like smart TV, I'm not logged in onto my TV. And most people might like sit at home and watch YouTube off their TV. Yeah. You know, they might not like subscribe because like they don't want to log into the you know typing on a TV, your email address and then the password takes you like 20 minutes, you know, so like that's just my like little theory on like some people that don't like subscribe as well. But good on the people that subscribe. That means like they're keen. You know.
I definitely do appreciate that the number goes up. Like that's cool because it's like, oh cool, like XYZ amount of people find my content useful. It's like, because a view is like, you don't know if that person hated the video or liked the video, but at least if they subscribe, then it means it's like,
unless they comment on my videos and they're all hates.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
You were my first hate comment on my first YouTube video.
I'm very proud of that. It's one of my biggest achievements.
It's one of my biggest achievements. Yeah, because you're such a nice guy, bro. You're like so nice to me, man. You're like, but yeah, no, you did teach me everything like about photography and YouTube and like even like helping me set up this podcast, bro. You helped me, man. So like, you're the man, bro.
Thanks, bro.
You're the man. But what's next for you, man? And in terms of like, do you have like a goal or like,
you know what? I actually think, just on what you said before, like I think that for me, I don't really see like me helping you as like a thing that I have to do or that I would like feel compelled to do. Like anybody who comes like who's around me and who's like wants to create stuff and wants like has a thirst for like wanting to like take, you know, their life or like whatever to the next level, and they're like, oh, you know, like I just want to help them. I don't know, it's just this weird thing like where I'm like, oh, it actually feels good to be like, hey bro, like you want to do this? Like I've actually done that before and like this is like the best way to do it, whatever. It's
nice to like help someone that's like passionate about something that you can help them with, you know?
For like, sure.
You want to help, you know, like people what's that, like saying God doesn't help those who help themselves type of thing, you know, like not that religion's involved, but like, you know what I mean, like you want to help someone that really is passionate about like something they want to do. They want to learn photography, they want to like because I noticed that with you, like even with Amanda, like helping her with like starting up her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like,
I want everyone to succeed, and like when I see somebody trying, I'm like, fuck yeah, I get excited and inspired by that, and that just like spurs me on to like try to help them. Sometimes people don't really want help, and I'm just like trying to help them. It's like weird, but
like, cause like I noticed like even like the other day when we were like at the boys' house and like said he bought that NPC.
Oh yeah.
And like I felt like you basically taught yourself on the spot there, right? Or like you figured it out yourself.
Yeah.
Like you YouTubed everything while you were trying to like use the NPC.
Yeah.
But you kind of, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but it felt like you kind of were like doing it so that you can help Seti with it because it's his.
Yeah.
Kind of like showing him like, hey, this is how. Also like helping yourself too, because like, you're Lally Beats, bro.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, like making beats and stuff. Isn't that what you used to do back in the day?
Yeah. That was like a little passion project of mine. But I still like enjoy making music. I'd love to start doing it again.
I reckon it'd be sick if you like were making your own music for your own YouTube channel.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be sick. I'm just not good enough.
Yeah, I know. And it's like probably time consuming. Like that's you gotta make more beats and. Like,
but anything that you do that's like enjoyable, it's not a waste of time.
Yeah, I know.
So I feel like
exactly. Yeah.
What was the question you were gonna ask me, and I backtracked on it.
No, your goals. Well, what's next for you, bro?
Oh,
yeah. What's next?
What's next? Yeah, I keep saying this, and I'm sick of saying it, but like, yeah, I'm gonna make a course, like an online course. Yeah, I just want to like give more of my knowledge in like a packaged up way, and not like you having to sift through like 1,000 YouTube videos to like find out information. It's like, no, I'm gonna like put it all in one place for you. So I definitely want to make like a how to shoot portraits and like that kind of course, and then also like the business of photography, because like that was something that I did for like 10 years of my life, and I learned a lot of stuff, and I went through a lot of bullshit, figured out the better ways to do some things, and so I just want to share that with people. And I think that's like the next chapter is like actually teaching. So yeah, and then I'm just honestly want to keep doing what I'm doing, because I'm like super happy and super like fulfilled doing what I'm doing right now, which is just making videos about photography. And
well, you're a good teacher, dude, so like I don't think you'll do wrong or do bad at it. I reckon you'll.
Well, I think that's a big part of it, is that like people will say like, oh, you're a good teacher or whatever, but I actually think that I've never really reflected on my teaching style, or how it like, am I a good teacher? Like, so creating a course hopefully will be like a course for myself, like a crash course for me in like being a teacher. It's like,
Mr. Lally.
Like I want to improve that too. Yeah, because I don't want to just be like, oh, here's some information, blah, 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 whatever. Like, enjoy. I want to actually think about, okay, what keeps people engaged and what actually motivates them to go out and put that information into practice. And like just the way I deliver stuff, and using like better analogies to explain things, and maybe getting rid of more of the fluff. Yeah.
Could you, like, because obviously, you started taking photos like a long time ago, and that was because you wanted to take photos of, was it film? You wanted to film.
I started it out wanting to do videos, and then I bought a stills camera to do video, and then I've always enjoyed or appreciated photography. Like when I was a kid, I always had like photos up on my walls of like skateboarding, motocross, and like surfing. So like I would always like put these like magazine pages up on my walls and stuff, like photos that I really liked. And it was like photos of cars and stuff. So I always have this like appreciation for like good photos. But like video was something that I always really loved the process of doing. And then I discovered photography through that. So I discovered the photo function of this camera. Like it was a photography camera, but
and then your first paid job was a wedding?
Yes. I think so. I can't really remember. I think it was a wedding, but it also could have been like something else.
Yeah. How long ago was that?
Yeah, it could have been like an engagement party or something that I did for a couple $100, but I just can't exactly remember like the dates. But definitely the first like big payday that I had was definitely a wedding, because I think like for my second wedding I got paid like $500.
That's crazy how like it was $500 back then, and now like if you were to do a wedding, you'd be like, all right, like a couple of grand. Like,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's way different when it's your hobby and you also have a full-time job, and then so you're just going to go out on the weekend and take some photos, and to add $500 to your weekly paycheck is like, whoa, that's like, that makes a huge difference. But when it's your full-time thing and you're like, well, I have to block out an entire day,
you're responsible.
and then all of the editing and everything, it's like you kind of add it all up, and it's like 3 or 4 days worth of work, and you're like, is that worth $500 to me? And then I got to pay the tax on that as well. So it's like, yeah, things change when you like get further into it.
Yeah, when you start getting the responsibility of like putting food on and no one else is paying you. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, you've got no sick leave, you've got no annual leave.
Yeah.
You got to start charging stuff like that.
Yeah, that's the perspective that I think a lot of people miss, like on photography. It's like, how can a wedding photographer for one day of work charge like $3,000 or $4,000? Like that's just crazy. Like a lot of people think that that's stupid. And then you're like, well, this person can only work one day a week because weddings only really happen on the weekends. Occasionally they happen during the week, but for the most part, it's like a Saturday.
Yep.
And if you shoot like an entire day, you're not really going to get up and do it again the next day on a Sunday, right? So you kind of only have one day where you can really work. And then what about like, you need to safely store all those files. So like you've got to go home and like use a backup hard drive to back them up. And maybe you need 2 copies because you don't want to just, rely on one copy. If that dies and the person's lost their entire wedding, it's like, okay, so immediately now you've added like extra time to back up the photos and the cost of having like 2 extra hard drives.
Buy them.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, in this photo, like this person has their eyes closed, or like, there's someone in the background. It's like, well, the client wants you to remove those. It's like, okay, well, that's going to take time. And then also you want to put like your colors on it, and you want to make certain things stand out. And so you've got to go through individually every single photo. And then it's like emailing back and forth with the couples, and like, my wedding's on this day, and like you might have to do a call with them, like
meet up with them for a coffee.
Yeah, like a Zoom meeting or whatever. And it's like all of a sudden this like one day of work turns into like an entire week worth of work. And then it's like,
if you cull it all together, it's like a week or 2 weeks.
And then it's like, well, how you look at a photographer's bag, like the average wedding photographer's bag is probably worth like $15,000.
Yep.
So it's like, that's like a very similar level of like tools to like a tradesman.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know how much like tradesmen charge for the job, and they've got like costs, and also like we got to have insurance, like public liability. Like there's so much to it, and people they just don't think.
Yeah. I personally, and this is not like to everybody out there, but I still think that a lot of people look at photographers and just think that we take photos.
Yeah.
Like they just think that we just take the photo, press the button.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like,
yeah, people should like go and actually try to photograph something important, and then figure out, okay, there's way more to this than I thought there was. It's like,
just because you get an iPhone.
Yeah, it's like people who renovate their own houses. Like they're like, oh yeah, I could put a new bathroom in. That's easy.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
And then you
don't need a plumber.
You just realize like, I don't know anything, and like, it would just be so much easier just to have someone else.
Dude, even just to like move furniture from one house to another, you think, I'll do it. I'll call the boys up. Don't worry, they'll, And then we're out there like for 8 hours just trying to figure out how to open the back door of the truck.
Exactly,
and like trying to Tetris everything into the truck, And then at the end of the day, I could have just spent $500 and got 2 guys to get.
Yeah, exactly.
And
like if the couch falls off the back of the truck and lands on another car, you basically don't have a couch anymore, and you've got to
pay this guy's car. Like,
if you hire a mover, it's not your problem.
Yeah, that's on them.
Exactly.
They've got all that. That's why you pay them that.
So you're like de-risking yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, anyone out there that's listening to this, be kind to us photographers, especially on weddings. Be kind to us.
Us entitled bastards.
Yeah, basically. All right, man. I think that's come to an end, but I've got one question for you.
Okay.
3 people, dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you love to like just sit down with and like shoot the shit, just chat with them, have a drink?
Damn. Like I always like idolize like Mac Miller.
Yep.
So definitely he would be one of them. Jeez. I don't know. Like, I want to say like someone like Kanye.
I feel like Kanye would be cool to like hang out with, but then sometimes I'm like, he might not stop talking. about like him.
Yeah.
It's even though like I would actually want to ask him questions of like, hey, what happened in the studio this day, and like that's what I'd like want to ask him.
Yeah, that would be cool to like get like inside like kind of stories.
Yeah.
I feel like hanging out with Kanye would be cool.
He seems like a funny guy. Like not intentionally funny. Like he's like trying to be. He's just talking. You're like laughing.
For some reason, like only musicians come to mind because like I just love music and I love. It's also like a creative thing as well. Like creatives can connect with other creatives, like regardless of like what.
Yeah, of course.
Kind of you know, direction that you are creatively or like what kind of genre. Damn. Oh, this is hard, eh? Maybe okay, I'd probably have to say like it would be like Mac Miller. I reckon I'd love to sit down with like a Rodney Mullen or like a Tony Hawk.
Yeah. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Shout out.
That'd be sick. Yeah, like Rodney Mullen is a cool dude. He'd be a cool dude to talk to. He's kind of like the pioneer of like street skating.
Sure.
Yeah, he's like the Tony Hawk because Tony Hawk was like the half pipe dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's like the street version.
The street version.
Yeah, sweet.
And then maybe someone like Kanye. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to think on the spot. Yeah. That's a good question, man. Yeah. That's a good question. I'll probably like be driving home and be like, man, what about this one?
You'll probably call me. I'll record it. Don't worry. Like, hey, bro, Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. But it's weird that there's like no photographers really like kind of make my list.
Do you? Because like when I was kind of writing down this question, I even thought if someone asked me this, I don't have like a photographer as well because like. I think their photos speak enough to me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like Short Stash, for example. Like, even though like it'd be cool to like sit down with them and chat and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, but like it's not like his photos are what is speaking to me. Yeah, and I've already like heard the story now. Yeah, if that makes sense. But like someone like Kanye or like Kobe Bryant, dude, like to hear like the stories they've been through or like even funny stuff, dude. Like I want to hear like what a night out with Kobe Bryant would have been like, or like, you know.
So have you thought about this? Well, like, what's your 3 people?
My 3 people?
Yeah.
Be Kobe Bryant would be one of them.
Yeah.
Bill Burr. Like, dude, Bill Burr, man. Like, I would just have 3 Bill Burrs right there, bro. Like, he's
your spirit animal.
He's my spirit animal, bro. Like, I love Bill Burr, man. Shout out to Bill Burr. Monday podcast, Bill Burr. Yeah, so Bill Burr, Kobe Bryant, and probably like I'd probably say the same thing, dude, and like it'd be up there with like Kanye or like someone like Leonardo DiCaprio. I would love to hear Leo's like stories about partying and like
that
like,
would be actually wild.
You know, all like the crazy stories how like when she turns like 25 or 26, like he's done like I would just love to be like, hey bro, is that true? Like, you know, and he'd be like, hey man, like he's like something just happens and like as soon as it's their birthday, like I'm done. Like, you know, she could be the 10 out of 10, you know, and like and I love to like just hear it from him. Like, hey, you know, like because you just don't know.
Yeah.
Because it's all like a joke, right? Like all the people, but like he could be like, hey, it ain't a joke, bro. Like that's it. That, you know, like and like he's like maybe every 10 years he gets older, like he'll go to like 27 with it. You know, oh, when she turns 27, I'll give her another year. You know, like you know, then it's like 28. But Kobe would be cool, man. Kobe would be sick. Like just to, like hear his mentality and like how he works and stuff like that. Like yeah, and Bill Burr just funny. I feel like he's just like a good chat. Like you want to laugh all the time. Yeah, with someone like that guy. Yeah. But thanks for being on the first episode. I hope it went well. Just over an hour of chats. But thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man.
That's all good. I'll put all of Mitch Lally's links and videos and everything down in the description.
How long did we talk for? Wow, was that only an hour?
Yeah, it felt like 3 hours with you.
Dude, yeah.
All right, bro. Thanks. See you later.
Cheers, dude.
Later, bolt.
Later, bolt.